Welcome back. Well, life is slowly going back to normal where the first cases of COVID-19 were recorded. Wuhan in China has seen some shoppers returning to stores and residents enjoying their nightlife. But for more on how life is on ground zero, I'm now joined by a South African teacher based in Wuhan, Mbali Gcabashe. Mbali, good to have you and good morning from this side. I mean, we know that the first cases were recorded in Wuhan. You know, everything just sort of tumbled after that to a point whereby the SA government had to repatriate South Africans from Wuhan. You decided, I understand, to stay behind. Why did you decide to do so?
Well, at the moment, when the cases first broke out, I mean, we started seeing them, yes, in Wuhan, but then we started hearing of cases in different places. And traveling was seen as the main culprit, you know, even though the government was repatriating and all, you know, the necessary care would have been taken care of. But it was still a risky thing to do. And it's just something I didn't want to put my children through. And also, we were here in China already and all the precautions were being taken and we were safer. I felt we were safer staying here than traveling and risking.
And ever since then, I mean, South Africa is seeing more cases. We're even into a second wave with the new COVID-19 variant. I mean, how has life been in Wuhan since?
For us, life has pretty much gone back to normal. I mean, as I speak right now, you can see I'm at work, I'm in school, life is just going on. I think what happened in China, particularly in Wuhan, because it was much stricter than anywhere else in the country, we managed to curb, I can say, you know, the scourge of this pandemic, because everybody in Wuhan, from a child to a very old person, we had to be tested. And I can confirm myself, I think I have been tested at least 4 times for COVID-19 during my time, and with my children as well. Everybody has been tested, and you see different communities from now and then doing testing, particularly for the elderly who carry more comorbidities. So they do a regular health check just to ensure that we are still on the safe side.
Right. I suppose the rigorous testing, but also speak to resources, because for the longest time the SA government has been, you know, reeling and raising concerns around lack of resources to have everybody tested, thus relying on South Africans to at least stay at home, you know, sort of comply with the restrictions, sort of behavioral, behavioral activities dictating whether one is responsible or not in this instance. How have, you know, some of the residents in Wuhan been behaving in as far as, you know, when there are restrictions? Have they been complying? Were there instances where the government there was struggling with behavioral activity?
Yeah, I think part of my reasoning for not coming back home was understanding the dynamics of South Africa and understanding where I am right now. And Chinese people, by their very nature and the nature of the system in their country, they know to respect the law. If there are laws and the government has put down certain rules, people in China generally follow. Of course, every other country would have people who would take their chances, but in the majority, Chinese people are very compliant. And I felt safer because I know, you know, sometimes at home we take our democracy to the maximum. And even if it's things, you know, that are for our own benefit. And I think that is the attitude that I would suggest that South Africans follow, remembering that they are not doing this for the government. It's for your own safety, it's for your family, it's for your children, it's for yourself. You are not doing anybody a favor by being compliant. You are doing yourself a favor.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen some restrictions in, you know, other parts of the country, such as the Garden Route, Sarabatma municipalities, and South Africans were worried about having quite a blank Christmas. So your advice is that should South Africans want to go back to normal, as Wuhan is seeing, it's important to quarantine, to comply, stay at home, and allow these processes to happen so everyone is at home. And I suppose that is part of the reason why you're seeing, you know, those few cases or numbers, if at all, within your city right now.
Yeah, right. So the funny thing is that you'd hear people saying, you know, this thing did never really happen. I mean, look at Wuhan, now they're going on. But people are not understanding that we were on a hard, when I say hard lockdown, you don't even understand. That meant not leaving your apartment, not just not leaving your community, your apartment. You couldn't go out the door. Okay, that's how strict it was. And so if you want to curb the scourge, you have to follow the rules and do the necessary things that will help you, be on the safe side. You would acknowledge that China particularly has this big holiday, the Chinese New Year. And people had to go without. For the first time, people did not celebrate Chinese New Year, and that is a big deal. So if people are worried about just one Christmas, imagine not being here for the next one.
All right then. Well, Mbali, thank you so much for talking to us and giving us another perspective. Mbali Gcabashe, who is a South African based in Wuhan.